Gary Nasai Minasan. Today we are gonna talk about Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger episode 2 before watching Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger episode 2. So let us start with the trailer. Let's go. King-Ohger. Okay. Looks good. Oh, okay. Very interesting stuff here. Okay, so I just want to quickly say, based on the trailer, we actually get to see one really interesting scene, and that is the scene where the Blue Ranger is also inside the Megazord together with the Red Ranger itself. So in the next episode, we're gonna see two Ranger piloting the Megazord together. In the first episode, there's only one, but now we are actually gonna see two. So like I said in the first episode review, I actually mentioned like how like more Ranger in the Megazord is gonna increase the power of the King-Ohger at the end of the day. Maybe, okay, but then again, we wanna look through the trailer scene by scene to actually figure out what to expect from episode 2 of the series. So immediately we start off with the introduction of the Blue Ranger, which is the King-Ohger, if not mistaken, and we don't actually get to see him henshin in the first episode of Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger. So this is the first time officially that we are actually gonna see him, and he looks really good. And honestly speaking, when I first saw the suit in this trailer itself, I actually felt a little bit underwhelmed by the way the suit actually looks, but throughout the entire trailer, they managed to capture it in a really smart way. The lighting system that they gave the suit actually allows the suit to shine really well. Especially the suit looks the best when there is harsh white light shining on top of the armor, creating the highlight separation between the light and the shadow, and that is so good. I really love it, and I felt like even the design of the suit also kind of represent the toughness to become a king, because a lot of people might actually think like becoming a king is like the easiest job in the world. But let me tell you, if you never become a leader of any organization at all, you should give it a try, because when you assume the position of leadership, you're actually gonna notice like there's a lot of decision that made by a leader. Sometimes it actually seems like, why would you do this? As a follower, you don't really understand. As a person in the company, you'll be like, why, like how come the leader is so bad, so sucks, and all those stuff. But I assure you, like when you find a good leader, no matter how good that leader is, at certain time the person is gonna make a decision that is not gonna please everyone in the country, everyone in the organization itself. So becoming a king is actually a very tough job, because you need to be the one that bears all the responsibility and all the consequences of your action itself, and that can actually be very draining towards you yourself and your mental health. So but someone that is able to become a king and stay sane throughout their reign is someone that is really strong mentally and also physically as well. Okay, so that is something that I felt like I just want to mention. But let me move on to the next thing, and that is a new way to use the shield. We don't actually get to see the shield being used in this manner in the previous episode. We actually get to see Papillon uses the shield, that the other weapon other than the sword. I'm just gonna call it the shield, as Papillon uses it as a bow rather than a shield itself. Hachi-Ohger uses it as a shield and bashing all the enemy. We get to see the Yellow Ranger Kamakiri-Ohger using the form, the one-handed, is like a official knight poses, a shield and a sword, like just swinging around. So we actually get to see Tombo Ohsama, the Blue Ranger, uses it as kind of like a gun, and because he is from the technology kingdom, the nation of technology, so obviously he managed to find a way to kind of like upgrade his shield, upgrade his bow into kind of like a crossbow or maybe like a gun, something like that. So he's gonna have a different type of weapon, so that is quite interesting for me to see as well. I'm really curious to see how Gira is gonna fight. Is he only gonna fight using the sword? If that is the case, maybe give him something else, okay, like something more unique rather than just a one-handed sword user. Maybe give him another sword. That would be amazing as well. I mean, like, he is the Kuwagata. The Kuwagata is famous for the pincer thing, so maybe like do something similar to that idea. But then again, I'm way ahead of myself. Let me move on to the next scene. Really love the posing here. And next we get to see a close-up of the Blue Ranger, and I actually just noticed, like, in every single ranger, in their right chest piece, they actually have the logo of their kingdom itself. So that is something that I really did not expect them doing. Usually they are gonna have a unified logo, but this time every single rider is gonna have their own country's logo planted on the suit itself. So that is something really cool, and I really love the design of the suit because of that. Okay, let me move on. We get to see an extreme close-up of Yanmaga's, and we actually get to see that the earring that he is actually using actually have the logo of the country itself. And I'm just gonna move my camera a bit for you so you can actually see it is right in front of me right here, right now. Yeah, I'm pointing at the earring. So this is actually the logo of Nimkos Sopa, if not mistaken. That is the name of the country of the Blue Ranger itself. But okay, moving on, we get to see Blue Ranger. And there's a lot of Blue Ranger in the second episode because he didn't actually get to shine in the first episode, because I think the only thing that we actually get to see from the Blue Ranger is that we know how, like, his character from the first episode is that he is a doubter. He actually questions, and he is daring enough to question authority. He is someone that is like very sure of himself to be number one. So he is actually a really interesting character and a really good friend for you to actually have if you if you ever meet someone like this in real life. At first you feel like, how come this guy is always like questioning your authority, questioning the decision that you are making? But at the end of the day, if you need to know, he is pure of heart. He is someone that doubts you because he wants the best for the people, and he believes that he knows the best in the people as well. So Blue Ranger is someone like that, and this is a character that I really love because I can really relate to someone like Yanmagas, that would sometimes actually feel like his decision would actually be the best, because based on the data that he has, based on the analysis that he has, he would assume that I am the only person that can actually make the change. So I want to be the person that actually makes the change itself. And that is why in the first episode we actually get to see Yanmagas try to resurrect the god Kuwagata, but failing to do so because, you know, he is the blue and not the red ranger. And we have the classic rivalry between the blue and the red to see who is actually the leader of the squad. This is very common in the Super Sentai series, and I'm really happy to see that they actually bring it back in this Super Sentai series as well, because this is a story of five kings, and when 5 kings are gathered all together, there's definitely gonna be a little bit of bashing head back and forth, something like that. So I'm really excited to see how Gira and Yamaga's relationship is gonna turn out. I felt like it is gonna be a Zoro and Sanji relationship where both of them equally wants the same thing, but at the same time both of them are headbutting with one another all the time. Okay, so really fun stuff. But let me move on from, and we get to see a really like awesome like posing from the Blue Ranger. This is his classic signature pose, and honestly speaking, when the first impression when I actually saw the hairstyle of the Blue Ranger, can I just say something? He reminds me of Kamen Rider Forze. What Kisaragi Gentaro is not mistaken his name. It reminds me of Forze, and he's the way even the actor looks kind of similar to the actor of Forze. And I was like, what? I was like, are they ripping off his design entirely? But it is a really good design. I really love character that looks like this, you know, a little bit of Yankee style, a little bit like kind of like a rebel style, something like that. So I really love, like, even the way he's wearing like the baggy pants, like the top coat over the shoulder. It is definitely a Yankee design. But the funny thing that he is not stupid, okay? He is smart because he is the leader of the technology nation itself. So let me move on to the next thing, and then we get to see the Blue Nation. The Blue Nation, okay, I'm just gonna call it the Blue Nation. It's easier. And very interesting thing is that we actually get to see the Empire Bugnarak actually pay a visit to the Blue Nation, and they actually try to strike out kind of like a deal, a negotiation, like a hand over the sword or something like that. So maybe eventually we're gonna find out the story of how the sword actually once belongs to the Bugnarak kingdom and all the stuff. Maybe like the human is actually the bad guy at the end of the day that actually tries to take over the Empire of Bugnarak. Maybe that is kind of the story of this Super Sentai series, but then again, that is just a theory, and we actually get to see Gira and Blue Ranger together here. So we are not sure what to expect moving forward, but this is really interesting. Okay, so next scene we actually get to see, yep, the close-up of the Bugnarak. I would assume this is gonna be the final boss of the Bugnarak kingdom, because if not mistaken, this is the guy that appears from the small, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't really remember. I only see the first episode once. I haven't rewatched the first episode yet, but this is really interesting stuff, because we know for sure that the Bugnarak is able to shrink themselves and like upscale themselves. I'm not sure how they actually do that. Maybe they have a technology that they can actually explain that. But let me move on to the next scene, and we actually get to see Yamaga's confronting Gira, and god damn, look at his face, how red his face is in this scene. I will compare to the neck. Oh my god, he is screaming. This actor is screaming out of his lung, and to be able to bring out that redness in face, it means, wow, I don't know how he does that, but he's boiling inside. This, oh, I really did not see this coming. Like, this acting is supreme, man. And then you can see Gira face like, the fuck? Why are you so angry? Why are you angry? Something like that. So very interesting stuff. And next we get to see the Red King becoming the villain that he is, like the evil king, something like that. So maybe when he became a ranger, he's gonna become kind of like an evil ranger. So I'm not sure what ranger is he gonna be. I believe he is gonna become the Grey Ranger, the one that we actually saw a toy, a plushie being made of, the Grey Kuwagata, and that is the reason why is because he still wants to become king, and he is still the king of Shugodam, and the guardian deity of Shugodam is the Kuwagata beetle. So obviously he's gonna base his suit around the identity of the Kuwagata itself. So it is gonna be a similar suit as the Red Ranger, but instead of red, it is gonna be the Grey Ranger suit, something like that. So I still believe he is gonna become the Grey Ranger, but he's not gonna be on the side of the rest of the Ohsama itself. Maybe by the end of the story, we're gonna see this Rakulias King, Red King, is gonna learn his lesson. He's gonna be like, oh, okay, I learned from my lesson, and I'm gonna become a good king right now, because Gira, you show me the way of what a king should be, blah yada yada. Maybe that is how the story is gonna go, but I highly doubt it. Commit, okay? The writer of this Super Sentai series commit to make the Red King into a villain. That is gonna be the best thing you're ever gonna do for your series. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the design of the chamber itself. Like, when we look at the chamber of Shugodam, despite it being the kingdom of the Kuwagata garden deity, but we actually get to see a lot of Kabuto beetles surrounding the throne room, and I felt like maybe that is kind of like hinting at us that we are actually gonna see a Kuwagata rider in the, not Kuwagata rider, we already saw a Kuwagata rider. What am I trying to say? We are actually gonna see a Kabuto rider in the ranger, not rider. We already have a Kabuto rider. Ranger, we're gonna see a Kabuto Kabuto Ranger moving forward, and we actually got a toy photo of the Kabuto being kind of like an add-on accessory for King-Ohger. So is it kind of like teasing us that we are actually gonna get a Kabuto Ranger? If that is the case, I am not sure who is gonna become the ranger of the Kabuto, but it is gonna be really amazing. Or maybe it is just an add-on accessory. I'm not sure. Really curious to see how they are gonna explain it. But let me move on. Okay, next we get to see Gira using the sword once again, and then we get to see the Megazord. Very I actually really like how they operate the Megazord in this series. It looks really cool, like kind of like exoskeleton, something like that. So I actually really love it. And this is the scene I talk about. We get to see the Red Ranger first, and then we get to see the Blue Ranger. Very amazing stuff. And they are fighting against we don't actually get to see the villain here. And next we actually get to see Gira in the kingdom of the Blue Ranger itself. I would assume like the Blue Ranger saved Gira from the soldier of Shugodam and bring him here into this Nekosopa to hide from the Shugodam, because every kingdom is gonna have their own land and their own nation. So once Gira leaves the land of Shugodam, the army of Shugodam is not able to chase him into the land of Nekosopa, something like that. So this is gonna be really interesting, because this is actually teasing us that we are gonna see Gira moving from one country to another. Maybe like it's gonna go from the blue to the black, because the Black Ranger island is actually just lower the land of the Black Ranger is just below the land of the Blue Ranger itself. So after Blue, we will actually get to see Gira moving to the Black Ranger, and then maybe next is the Yellow Ranger, and lastly the Purple Ranger, something like that. So that is how they are gonna flow the entire story. Maybe, okay, we are not sure. If that is the case, it would actually mean that it would actually takes quite a long time before all 5 Rangers is gonna fight together once again. But then again, like when the Bugnarak actually appears, maybe the rest of the Ranger is gonna help up. The rest of the Ranger is gonna send in reinforcement to different country to help up, something like that. But based on the second episode preview, we don't actually get to see the rest of the Ranger at all. We only get to see a Red and Blue Ranger working together, and this could actually be caused due to how the Red King causes the trust between the rest of the kingdom actually loses. Okay, like it's like they no longer want to help one another, because they are afraid that what if the Bugnarak attack my kingdom, then if I'm not there to protect my kingdom when the Bugnarak strike, then I am not able to defend my country. So I cannot go into different country to help out with your Bugnarak invasion, something like that. So maybe that is how the Bugnarak is gonna strike down the different nation, because they refuse to work together, and they're just sticking to their own border. Like, since the Bugnarak is attacking the Blue Nation, it's not part of my problem, so I'm not gonna help out. And Gira is gonna be the one that gathers all of them together, and that is gonna be quite a long and very tedious journey. And I felt like if that is how the story is gonna progress, I think we are actually gonna, at least maybe like the first arc of the series is gonna be the gathering of the rider, and then the second arc of the story is gonna be the counter attack of the 5 nations, and the third arc of the story is gonna be the Red King rebellion, and then the last arc of the story is gonna be kind of like the Bugnarak counter attack, something like that, before the entire story actually finished. But with that being said, I kind of want Gira to go back to Shugodam a little bit, just to talk to the orphanage a little bit, because like when Gira, if Gira got separated from the orphanage immediately without an opportunity to explain what is going on, without an opportunity to really like talk things through with Kogane, to even like check on Kogane, something like that, I think that is gonna be really sad. But then again, I would actually suspect Kogane is not actually at Shugodam after the invasion of Bugnarak, but Kogane is actually gonna be together with Himeno Ran, because the Yellow Ranger is actually saw Himeno Ran and said that leave her to me. we can actually help her with her injury, something like that. And we also learned that the Yellow Ranger Ishabana is the country of art and medical care. So maybe that is how Kogane is gonna go from Shugodam to the Ishabana, the Yellow Ranger nation, something like that. It is gonna be really, really fun to see that happening, to see a reunion of Gira and Kogane at the Yellow Nation rather than in Shugodam itself. But yeah, that is pretty much it from me regarding this trailer. The rest of the show is we actually get to see the how the people of Nukosupa actually dress like. They dress like, I don't know what is this outfit, man. Like, I don't know, really tight clothing. I don't know, but yeah, a very neon color clothing as well. So, but the funny thing, right? The funny thing that I really don't like about the design of this city is like how everything is blue and silver and gray. It's like just because you are the Blue Ranger, it doesn't mean that you have to dye your entire city blue, okay? So that is something that I just don't really like. And then we get to see Red Ranger and Blue Ranger henshin posing a little bit before the trailer actually ended. So that is all from me regarding episode 2 of Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger before watching episode 2 of Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you made it this far into the video means you love the content. So the best thing you can do to support me is subscribing to the channel and leave the word of water in the comment section below, because when I talk about Blue Ranger, it reminds me of water. So let me know you finished the video by typing water in the comment section below. And that is all from me. Hope you enjoy. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.